From vision to victory, train your mind to win. There comes a moment in every human life when the noise of the world becomes impossible to ignore. A moment when the opinions, doubts, fears, and expectations of others pile so high that they begin to bury the voice that was placed inside you long before anyone told you who you should be. Most people never notice that moment. They spend their entire lives running on instructions they never wrote, following maps they never created, chasing goals they never truly desired. They wake up, survive another day, and call it living. They convince themselves that safety is wisdom, that comfort is success, and that waiting is preparation. But deep inside, something keeps whispering. A voice. A vision. A feeling that there is more. More strength. More purpose. More possibility. More life than the one they have settled for. That voice is not an accident. It is the signal of your potential calling you forward. The tragedy is that most people hear it and immediately silence it. Because vision is dangerous. Vision asks you to leave the familiar. Vision demands that you abandon excuses. Vision forces you to confront the uncomfortable truth that the life you are living today is often the result of the thoughts you have repeatedly accepted yesterday. Every achievement begins twice. First in the mind. Then in reality. Before the skyscraper touched the clouds, it existed in imagination. Before the symphony filled the concert hall, it existed in silence. Before the airplane crossed oceans, it existed as an impossible dream in the minds of two bicycle mechanics who refused to let reality define what was possible. The world changes when someone dares to believe in a picture nobody else can see. And that is where victory begins. Not in talent. Not in luck. Not in circumstance. Victory begins with a vision powerful enough to reshape the person who carries it. The greatest prison ever built has no bars. It has no walls. It has no guards. It exists inside the human mind. It is built from limitation. Brick by brick. Fear by fear. Excuse by excuse. People say they want success, but what they often want is certainty. And certainty is the enemy of greatness. Because every extraordinary achievement begins in uncertainty. When Thomas Edison worked through thousands of failed experiments, certainty was nowhere to be found. When Abraham Lincoln endured defeat after defeat before leading a nation through its darkest chapter, certainty was nowhere to be found. When Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination, certainty was nowhere to be found. Yet they moved forward anyway. Why? Because they understood something most people never learn. The mind can either become a servant of circumstances or a master of them. And the difference lies in what you repeatedly choose to believe. Your mind is not merely a storage room for thoughts. It is a factory. Every day it manufactures reality. The thoughts you entertain become beliefs. The beliefs become actions. The actions become habits. The habits become character. And character shapes destiny. Look carefully at the direction of your life. Not where you hope to be. Not where you pretend to be. Where you are. Because your current reality is revealing the patterns that have been operating inside your mind. This is not a reason for guilt. It is a reason for power. Because if thought created the prison, thought can create the escape. The moment you understand this, you stop blaming. You stop waiting. You stop surrendering your future to luck. You begin taking ownership of the most powerful force you possess: your ability to direct your mind. Most people underestimate the impact of a single thought. But a thought is never just a thought. A thought is a seed. And every seed contains a future. Plant doubt, and eventually you harvest hesitation. Plant fear, and eventually you harvest retreat. Plant belief, and eventually you harvest courage. Plant vision, and eventually you harvest achievement. The farmer understands that harvest season is determined by planting season. Yet many people spend years planting negativity while expecting abundance. They plant excuses and expect excellence. They plant distraction and expect mastery. They plant indecision and expect victory. Life does not respond to wishes. Life responds to what is consistently cultivated. And whether you realize it or not, you are cultivating something every single day. The question is simple. Are you feeding the vision? Or are you feeding the fear? Because both are growing. Both are waiting. And eventually, one of them will become strong enough to shape the course of your entire life. The mind is a battlefield long before the world becomes one. And every great